More this afternoon. I'm joined by the US political commentator and head of policy at the Republic of Everyone. Dave Levine is still with us this news day, and joining me this hour to offer his analysis is Tom Switzer from the US Studies Centre. Dave, let's start with you. Looking at Rick Santorum's performance today, he'd be pretty pleased, you'd have to say. He's forecast to win Tennessee, North Dakota and Oklahoma. Considering that Mitt Romney was the clear front-runner going into Super Tuesday, Rick Santorum's had a pretty impressive performance.
He has, and he did that despite the fact that, as he pointed out, Mitt Romney has had a considerable fundraising advantage. Mitt Romney has raised $64 million compared to Rick Santorum's almost $7 million. That's a huge difference, $61 million difference. And so what we see when we look at the votes that have come out of those figures is really, I would have expected Mitt Romney to be able to do a lot better. We have seen some of that translating into the great organizational structure that was set up in the caucus states in places like Idaho, which Mitt Romney is projected to win, where he's going to win by probably some 50-some-odd%, if not more, over Rick Santorum, not including the other candidates. So that money does translate into something. It also translated into $5 million worth of spending in the last 5 days on attack ads in Ohio alone. So this money is going somewhere, and so Rick Santorum should be pleased with the figures he was able to pull out. Yes.
Tom Switzer, what's your take on the results you've seen come in this afternoon? And also, you heard those pieces we played from some of the candidates earlier. Why is Ron Paul and Newt Gingrich still going? Why are they still sticking around?
Well, first of all, I think Di's broadly right. These results don't necessarily hurt Mitt Romney. They, I think, if anything, show that his prospects for being the Republican nominee at the Tampa convention later this year are still pretty high. So he's on solid ground. Although I do think it does raise all sorts of doubts in the conservative movement and the Republican Party, doubts that he can't shake off, that he's seen as either a closet liberal, which is heresy in Republican ranks, or a chronic flip-flopper, fake sincerity. So Romney's not out of this by any stretch of the imagination. With respect to your second question, well, Ron Paul was never in this to win the race. His goal from the outset was to accumulate as many delegates as he possibly could so that he could influence the convention platform in Tampa later this year. And the other thing he wants to do, of course, is help set up an intellectual and broader political movement within the Republican Party, libertarianism, if you like, and he wants to pass the torch to his son, Rand Paul, who's a senator from Kansas, to set him up for a nomination run in 2016 or 2020. Gingrich, well, look, he shouldn't be underestimated. He had a good win tonight in Georgia, although most polls showed that he would win by double digits, and this holds him in good stead in some of the southern states next week in Alabama and Mississippi. The other thing about Gingrich that one should not underestimate is that he has a very impressive way of getting out the vote. You saw this on January 21 in South Carolina, where the Republican turnout was a lot higher than it was in most of these other states for the primaries and caucuses. But I don't think that Gingrich has it to win. Certainly Ron Paul doesn't. I don't think Santorum does. Romney still looks like he'll win, but he'll be battered and bruised.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating to watch, and we will, of course, bring our viewers all the latest as those results do continue to come in, and we'll all be looking, of course, for the crucial state of Ohio and how the candidates go there. You can watch C-SPAN's comprehensive Super Tuesday coverage on Sky News Multiview. Just press red on your remote and look for our dedicated channel. Dave Levine and Tom Switzer, thank you for your insights this afternoon.